So I think this is called the Headlands. I'm pretty sure I'm Chaz Christensen, but just got done doing like the most iconic hill bomb in the Headlands. Hey, what's up? Cosleman Road, climb up Hawk Hill. It's a one-way downhill. Back in the day, on a track bike, it was a tire burner. It's so steep that you're skidding like most of the way down. You're not pedaling. I got to do it on this brand new Santa Cruz Stigmata we just built up, which is sick. So we've got a 2024 Santa Cruz Stigmata CC. This is a size large in the sparkly back paint job. That means this thing is all carbon. It can fit massive tires. Right now, I've got the Zip 303 Explorer SW wheels on here. That's like as deep as a 404, as wide as a 30 mountain bike rim. I've got some Goodyear Fitment Series for Zip 700 by 45 tubeless tires set up right here. And like I was saying, the tire clearance, these are 700 by 45s. I've got like a whole, I could put a mountain bike tire on here. I could be good to go. So you got like crit depth, mountain bike width, with some special tires made for it and a fast gravel tread. You probably run these things at about, I don't know, 21, 22 PSI, maybe even 18 or 19. The world is your oyster with this. Next up, drivetrain wise, we've got the SRAM Red Explorer group set. This is the newest of the new. It's got 13 speeds. I've got a 42 tooth up front with the power meter. I've got the special chain. This is new, it's all cut out. I've got a 10 by 46 cassette. And the change here is they made the jumps between the bottom cogs much smaller. So normally when you run a one by, it's hard to find the right gear. With the SRAM Red Axis Explorer group set, you can find the right gear at the bottom, no sweat. It's got a fucking UDH mount derailleur. This thing is burly. You're supposed to be able to like kick it a bunch, jump on it, it's fine. The battery all tucked in, got these massive pulley wheels in here, looking super fresh and fly. And then the cool thing is that you come to the front of the bike, and these things, oh man, these new red shifters are like the smoothest. This integration right here with the Zip SL70 bar is like the smoothest integration. They moved the piston from being up and down, like normally shifters were tall. They moved the piston in here inline, so you got one finger braking, like straight up pinky finger braking right here. My personal favorite, you've got shifter blips up here. So you can shift down here in the drops, but you could also shift up here in the hoods. You're just kicking it up here like this. You're in it, you're on it. These SL70s, gravel bar, carbon, little bit of flare, a little bit of down sweep for when you're in here in the drops. Nice flat section on the top for when you're doing the Roubaix vibes up top. I swapped in, this is a 100 mil stem. Normally I run a 110, but the Stigmata CC is more of a relaxed kind of old school mountain bike geo on top. So the top tube is super long and it actually handles better with a little stem. So I dropped 10 millimeters up front for a 100 mil stem, handles well. Then we got the Zip full carbon seat post. This Physique Ergon short saddle with the cutout. You know, you gotta love the cutout. Get a little wiggle right there, say what's up. I got my titanium bottle cages from Silca right here. And then I got, icing on the cake, Time XC10 pedals with the titanium anodized springs. I've been riding Time pedals since forever and a day, so these are always my jam. And this is it. We got the Stigmata CC 2024 in the sparkly black, SRAM Red Axis group set, Zip 303 Explorer SW wheels, some Time pedals, some Silca bottle cages, Physique saddle, ready to shred. So yeah, man, just got done getting the blood pumping. Now we're cruising through the Headlands, hoping to see a coyote. So I guess, man, the thing that got me into bikes, I mean, I always rode bikes as a kid, and then I was a bit of a fast and loose youth, and I got my driver's license taken away for speeding. I had 22 speeding tickets by the time I was 21, and I lived in Portland, and had a bike, and was driving to my dishwasher job, or riding to my dishwasher job, and then I saw these guys with bikes that never coasted, and they were skidding, and they had these weird bags that didn't really fit right. And then I found out about bike messengers and track bikes, and I guess you could say it was all downhill from there.
How long were you a bicycle messenger for?
Oh man, I started working on the road as a bike messenger in 2007, and I stopped, probably officially picked up my last tag, maybe 2019. I worked in New York a couple times in the summer after pandemic, but yeah, 2019, 2007, 12 years. That's math, right? 12 years, yeah. Best worst job I've ever had. Best worst job anyone could ever have.
How long did it take you from riding track bikes before it segued into other disciplines?
Man, so that was the thing. Yeah, I rode track bikes and only track bikes for like 7 or 8 years. And it just wasn't, a lot of it was monetary because you're just broke bike messenger and like gears cost money and track bikes are cheap. But I definitely was a bit of an elitist. But then a roommate sold me his old geared bike. And I was like, whoa, like you can go like really fast. But then more than that, I was like, you could go really far. I had done a bunch of tours. I rode from Portland to Chicago on a track bike, rode from Portland to Los Angeles on a track bike, Los Angeles to Vegas. And it's fun, but it's like hard. You can't go as far. And I was like, wait, I go way further with gears. And then I started doing stuff, take it right, Terry, like the Grasshopper Adventure series. And then that was like, oh man, like I was riding my road bike that I was 23 steel road bike, like I would use for work. And then they were like gravel races. Hey, thanks guys. Have a good one. And I was like, wait, you can ride road bikes off road? And then really, that's like what opened up the door for me was like stuff like the Grasshopper Adventure series and just sending it. I guess I tried to ride a road bike. I bought off Craigslist from Portland to Costa Rica in like 2008. And we made it down to the tip of the Baja Peninsula before we ran out of money. So yeah, I don't know. It's always just been about the adventure. Hey, how's it going, guys?
Hello. I guess the natural progression of adventure and riding your bike further and further just kind of segues that ultra, right?
I mean, that's really what it was, like an ultra race. It's funny, the first ultra race I ever did was the Transcontinental, which in hindsight is like one of the biggest ones.
Can you explain the Transcontinental for people?
The Transcontinental is a race across the continent of Europe. It starts usually in Western Europe and then finishes in Eastern Europe. Traditionally it started somewhere in Belgium, Geerhardensburg or Roubaix or something like that. But it's like a big alley cat. Like they give you 4 checkpoints across Europe, like 1,000 K away from each other, 600 miles in freedom units, and you have to self-route. And so it's basically a big alley cat. And me and my buddy Nico, someone told us about it and described me. We're like, that's just one big alley cat, we'll do it. So we started racing ultras and had no idea that what it was or like what was going on. It turns out it's one big alley cat.
Hell yeah. So how many ultras have you done now?
Oh man, not a lot of ultras. Done quite a few, over 20 or 30, I'd say.
What part of the country? Hey, what's up, guys? What part of the country is like, or is the most like, I guess, the most physically and mentally challenging for you?
Man, I love the desert. I just have this thing with being out. I feel the safest in the desert, which is weird, because I think maybe it's pretty inhospitable, crazy place. But I feel like it's one of those places where as long as you're on top of your game, you can really thrive and have a good time, and there's very few people and it's just weird stuff. I would say the desert, but also I grew up in Washington, so like put me in the forest and I'm happy as a clam. Put me anywhere. I went to Utah like 5 years ago for the first time and got my mind blown. And some of my favorite ultras I've ever raced have been out in Utah. So I don't know, I like everything, but put me in the desert and I'm happiest, I think.
So we're in the Bay Area.
Woo!
You're a local here. What is your favorite ride to do in the Bay?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I think the Bay Area has like some of the best riding in the country. Maybe an unpopular opinion, but for road bikes, Morgan Territory, descending Morgan Territory Road into Livermore is like one of the best descents I've ever done in my entire life. And I get to do it on the regs. And if I'm sending dirt, Old Cazadero, maybe not Bay Area, that's a little north. Honestly, this coastal's fucking sick, dude. There's so much good ripping out here in the headlands, like a theme park. So I'd say the headlands or Mount Diablo, one of the two.
If you weren't in the Bay Area, where would you live for the best riding?
Oh man, I actually been talking about this with my partner a ton. I don't know. I really think this is the best place to ride. Maybe Bend, Oregon. I'm an Oregonian by birth, and I like the high desert, and Bend's got trees, and it's kind of got everything, but I've never ridden anywhere in the world that has the diversity of riding that the Bay Area has. Also the community, because you got track bikes, road bikes, you know, mountain bikes, gravel bikes. It's fucking Gary Fisher smoked some weed and invented mountain bikes like right over there, I heard. I don't really know, that's an urban legend.
That's hilarious. All right, let's get to some more serious questions.
Dive deep, brother.
What is the meaning of life?
The meaning of life. I think the meaning of life is change. Like, I could say the meaning of life is like searching for happiness or finding your peace or whatever, but ultimately, I think the one constant in life is change. So embracing change and just being willing to like experience what life has to throw at you, good, bad, ugly, whatever, and just know that like things are going to change, and if it's bad, it's going to change and it'll get better, and if it's good, you better enjoy it because it's probably going to change and get bad at some point. So yeah, change, the nature of change, embracing the change, becoming one with the change.
Great answer.
Can you spare any change?
We back to it.
I think the second part would be finding humor in life, because, you know, life can get pretty grim sometimes, and if you can't laugh about it, what's the point?
Agreed. Would you say that the messengering scene or the business as a whole has changed?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I started working, at the end of the glory years of being a bike messenger. I had a sling bag and a brick radio and a pager, and I carried paper all day, and then we ran TCB kind of in the height of the like food delivery and the apps, and thankfully we got out at a good point, because I do think that the race to the bottom to provide like free or super cheap delivery is slowly killing the messenger. You know, being a messenger, as much as it's a blue collar job, it's you got to work hard, you know, and it takes a certain skill set, and like it costs money to have a human being carry stuff for you, so it's changed a lot. But the community is still strong. Just had a little art show in San Francisco, and messenger community came out, and as someone who never had a massive family or family life as a kid, I love you, Mom, though, the messenger community was my chosen family and became my family, so I will forever have a place in my heart for that community and what it's done for my life.
That's a great thing to talk about. You just had an art show.
Just had almost like a retrospective, I would say, but it was amazing. I mean, the art took me a couple years. I doodle on a lot of stuff, doodle on a lot of cool wheels that I would have thought to be unattainable 20 years ago when I was a young messenger. But really, everyone came out from like all aspects of bikes, messengers, music, graffiti, like just like San Francisco mission, and that was a really special thing for me. More so people got to see my art, and that was fun, but like seeing everyone come together in this community that took me where I'm at. I mean, I'm gonna live my dream, and that's a pretty amazing thing. I don't take that for granted any day.
What's next for you?
I don't know. Change. I've been doing this, I've been living this dream for quite some time. 10 years as a professional athlete, you know, 12, 13 years as a bike messenger. It's been amazing, traveled the world, had great adventures, seen things, and I do feel like something's on the horizon, a change. So I don't know, I think all I know is it's gonna be good, and it's gonna be weird. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Any things you wish you got into earlier in life?
I wish I'd gotten into strength training and stretching and taking care of my body. For all you young fixies out there, when they say you're gonna destroy your knees, you are. So take care of yourself, do a little bit of strength training, do some stretching, get some resistance bands, maybe do a push-up, eat some green things, don't stop having a good time, and embrace the change, you know what I'm saying?
So we bring to a close the story of rigid control through the unceasing research and the highest quality.